Okay, continuing on with the 1530 turn. Sorry I don't have the 1515 and the 1500 turn. A little bit of camera issues there. But just to give you a understanding what happened, the Italian infantry have moved up a little bit more, although they've been hit by the British artillery, 25-pounders, and mortars back here. The German tanks still setting up the screen here for the British infantry, trying to stop the Italian infantry coming up. And the other British infantry here, leaderless at the moment, but now the leaders are back in good stead, and they'll be moving down. The trucks moving up, a few scattered ones. Our motorcycle leader is still disrupted, so that's causing us a little bit of problems back there. But onward to 1530 and see what happens. So first off, the initiative: 4 for the British Italian, 3 for the British. So let's see, 1 plus 4 is 5, 1 plus 1 is 4, so the Italian Germans get the first turn. So with that, we will have, what will we have? A little bit tough, because we do want to get everybody moving, but I don't want to leave them pinned back here as well. I think we're going to have to start off with the tanks up here, trying to take some shots. So we'll start with these 2 tanks activating. And last turn they took a shot at the artillery up here. They're just in range and just out of range of the anti-tank fire. So they were able to disrupt them, but the leader came back in here and helped them out and got back in good shape. So question is, should we fire at them again? They've got a good shot here with both tanks here, both 11s. It makes 22. And then going up 2 for the artillery, but then down 1 for the dug-in, and then down 1 for the range. So it nets out to just the 22 column, which should give us a result. But our problem is our leader is in there, and he has a very good morale, which will push the morale of the guns up to 10 if he survives. So we really need to get a kill on them, versus using that same shot to go against some of the more closer units, like this stack here. B-22 with just a downshift of 1 for the dug-in, which puts them on the 16. That'll guarantee pretty much guarantee some sort of hit, unless they roll a 7, which is all likely. And try to disrupt this to give them a little bit of room to work. Same with this one here as well. Tough choices all around. I think, so I do want to pin this down. I think we'll let these guys fire locally. We'll get the artillery going against them, because we can spot with the major up here. I think that's going to be the plan. So the tanks are going to start, I believe. Or do we start with the artillery, trying to go against the artillery? Questions. So I think we'll start with the artillery, spotted by the major, going against the artillery there. They will be 8 plus 14 is 22, which puts them on the 21 column to start. All right. There's no self-spotting. There's no help from the spotting unit, because the major is not a character leader. So there's not much else that we can add in there. So it's going to be on the going to be on the 21, but shifted up 1 for the artillery, so it's on the 30 column. Rolls a 6. That gets us a morale check. All right, we've got the leader in there, so he's got to go first. He's a 9. Rolls a 6. He's okay. So he can apply his morale to the guns. So that pushes him from 8 to 10. And they're both okay as well. So that artillery strike did not do too much. Kind of hard to. So that's their first roll. Now we're over to the British. And the British could strike with our artillery as well. They could move up here. I do need to get a leader up in here to get these guys moving again. Maybe what will be best is to activate the captain. I'm going to activate the lieutenant. And the mortars, and that guy. Now does the lieutenant need to activate him? Need to cover those mortars still, so I think the lieutenant is not going to activate him. The anti-aircraft gun, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, doesn't really have much to shoot at, so they'll stay unactivated as well. So captain's going to move, these guys are going to move, leader's going to move, mortars are going to fire. Oops, there we go. So let's go with the mortars firing first. They're going to self-spot, go after the captain's hex down here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Alright, that should be enough to reach him. So, 2 mortars, that's 8 plus 8 is 16. Self-spotting puts it up to the 21 column. Ooh, they get something. It's an M1. So it's M1 on Capitano's hex here. So he's a 7 with a +1. So he gets disrupted. That's important. And then the unit is a 7 with a +1. And they're okay. 6 plus 1 is 7. Alright, so they have fired. Let's put this aside for the moment. Let's go with the recovery. He is a 7 because he's reduced. And then he loses morale for demoralized. It's 6, so he needs a 5 or better. He finally gets something there. So we will add that in there. Just noticed I got the wrong fired marker over there. Okay. So now movement. I think the captain's going to move. Now, the lieutenant's going to move first. So he's going to go 1 to there, 2 to there. Now he could fire, but he's a distance away, so it's not great. He can, well, he can't fire. It's at the slope hex, and he will not be able to fire. Or no, that's a slope hex, so he should be able to fire through that. Would be not over this way. So 1, 2, 3 into there. So that triggers the possibility of the motorcycle firing into there. So that would be 5 plus 1 minus 1 for range. Be 0 on the lieutenant. Tough shot. I think. Yeah, I think they'll take the shot. They've got nothing better. So that'll be 5 plus 1 for moving, minus 1 for range. So it leaves him on the 4 column. Rolls a 6, and that's a miss. All right, leader's okay. He's got 1 more movement point if he wants. he moves into here, the tank is probably going to fire. I think he'll stop there for now. He's in good position. Alright, so the mortars have fired, and the captain now, he's going to come in with the mortars so that he can command the whole group. Alright, that's it. Over to the Italians. Italians, I think now the tanks are going to activate. These two at least. Guns, units. I think they got to go for units. So this is going to be 22 minus 1 column. Puts them back to the 16 right there. Rolls a 7. That's a miss. That is a miss. These guys will shoot at the same target. Remember, they can't combine because they can't. Their leaders can't combine them. So they're going to be 5 plus 7 is 12. It's on the 11 column. Minus 1 for the dug-ins. Go back to the 7 column. Roll a 9. And they're a miss. So German tanks are not doing too much. May need to have them move up eventually here. Over to the British for their second turn. Now, what to do with the British? The mortars have fired. They fired. They can't reach anything. So I think it's got to be artillery. Yeah, I think it's got to be heel spot. And the 25 pounders will go after this Capitano's hex. So that's 13 plus 13 is 26. So it's these guys up here. Going against him down there. So it's on the 21 column. He has the bonus, or is it? He has the bonus to help spotting. So it goes up to the 3rd column. Oh, that's a big hit. That's a X. So, what do we have here? So we've got them disrupted. We're going to take the X on this unit. That's their second loss, so they're gone. Now the leader, he's a 10, but he's got a +2. He's okay. Now he can help bonus the unit. So there's 7, plus his bonus is 9, the +2 on the dice. +2 makes 7, so they're okay. Alright, but now we've got to do one more. We've got to do a leader loss because we did lose a step. So, rolling a 2 or a 3, because it's going to be 2 with a -1 for every step losses. So, 2 or a 3, he's lost. Oh, wow. He's killed. That is big. That just might tip the game right there. So he is lost. He's killed. Wow. That is very big for the British. So these 2 units, wait a minute, we got a demoralized guy over here that didn't activate. That's fine. I could do that later. Alright, over to, wow, that just shut down the German-Italian advance. Heavily. Alright, I think Lieutenant, okay, I think all of these trucks are going to activate now. I'm trying to get up here to help them get moving, because now it's become imperative that they get off the board. So let's move all of these units. So first off, these guys are going to go 2, 4, 6, 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, they're just going to be out of range. I wind up there, along with this other truck. I'll wind up there. And And we'll have these other trucks, 2, 4, 6, 8, with a demoralized unit. There. This Tenente is going to stay out of the trucks, and he's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 in with there, because he can potentially help them recover, which is going to be important. And actually, the 2 trucks will go with him independently. 2, 4, 6, 8. Alright, now it's becoming very important that the units are moving off. 2, 4, 6, 8 there. Alright, well, that's it. There's no fire because they're all out of range. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So now over to the British. British are feeling a little bit more confident now in terms of what they can do, but still have these tanks to contend with, as well as the infantry moving. But they've pinned them down pretty good. I think we'll try to have this demoralized leader get back in good shape. So he's a 7, demoralized 6. He needs a 5 or better. Doesn't get it. Alright, so that's it. Fog of war. No fog. Next, the Italians. Alright, next the Italians. I think our mortar team has to try to go against some of these. They're getting positioned to attack, and I don't like that. So he's going to activate, spotted by this unit here, which he doesn't have any special abilities, but he could get some if they get a hit. He could get some leadership points if he gets a hit. So it's going to be 8 with no bonus. So on the 8 count. 7. That is a miss. Okay. Well, the Italians were coming back, but now the British are mounting a better defense. Okay, back over to the British. Question is, what do we do here? I think I want this captain to activate, just the captain. The units are going to stay there. He's going to move 1, 2, 3. They come in range of him. 1, 2, 3. So they could take a shot at him. He's a 10. There are 13. He's moving. He moves into this hex. He's going to be dug in and moving. Cancel. So either way, they're kind of stuck if they want to shoot at him. I don't think there's anything they can do. They're going to let him go. So I'll just leave him there. He's actually in the hex, but he is moved. And that'll do it. Next, back to the Italians. I think I got to try to get this Tenente going here. He is an 8. He needs a 7. He gets it finally. Get these motorcycles going again. It's going to be important. Going to be important. So that's it for them. Fog of War is no. Next, British. Oops, this is wrong. Oh, there we go. British are in good shape, I think. I think they're just going to pass. 14, 15, not quite. back over to the Italians. I think the Italians need to try to get units moving. I think the captain's hex here, Capitano's hex, just the hex is going to activate. He's going to try to recover. The other unit's going to move. Let's get his recovery. He's a 7, needs a 6. And he gets a 6. So he's in good shape. And the unit, it's not moved. He's going to go 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now the machine guns can fire. He will direct. So that's going to be at a range of 4, moving. So that cancels each other out. They're 8. They'll be on the 7 column. Oof. Gets a 4, M1. M1 on the infantry. There's 7 with a dice with +1. That disrupts them. Very good shooting by the British. This turn is keeping the Germans and Italians from getting where they want to. Another 15. Okay, back to... Oh, wait a minute. I need a couple of these on them. Oh, and our leader gets a leader point, right? Yep, he's 16, 13. Let me just mark that up. 16, 13, that's brown. Yep. Okay, next. British are still in good shape, so they're just going to pass. No fog of war. Next. I think we got to try for this disrupted guy to recover. He is a 7, needs a 6. And he doesn't get it. He gets a 7. This is the problem for the Italians. Very, very brittle morale. Tends to force them to be stuck for several turns. No fog of war. The British, again, passing, in good shape. No fog of war. Okay. To the major back here. He's going to activate, try to get these guys going. We've got a heavy machine gun and a truck. So he can help them. So they are 7. He helps them for 8. Needs a 7 to recover. No, doesn't get it. The truck, same thing. Truck's a 7. Demoralized 6, but he can help them 7, so they need a 6. The truck gets it. Very slow to recover, these guys are. So, takes them. Fog of war. That's good. British in good shape, passing. And no fog of war. Okay. These guys down here are going to be stuck because there's no leader with them. So, same with him. He can't. Well, he can move backwards, but it's not going to really do him much good. I'm going to go for the demoralized guys here. And this hex. Leader can't help them yet. Take these up here. Alright. So the infantry unit is a 7, demoralized 6. Needs a 5. Does not get it. Now, can he be fired? 1, 2, 3? No. 2, 3, 4? No. So he's okay. Truck, same thing. Gonna need a 5. And the truck somewhat recovers. Now, just double check here. Yeah, okay. So, infantry and the truck, and the other trucks and the leader. Next turn, the leader can help out a little bit. Alright, fog of war. No fog. British are just passing, and they're good. So the last recovery down here is this motorcycle unit. It's demoralized. So he's 7, 6, needs a 5. No, he doesn't get it either. So he stands still. So, I think we're getting down to the end of the turn. Flag of war is nothing. British not doing anything. Because I really don't have anything. Oh, we do have these tanks up here. We do have these tanks up there. Their armor is weak. If they move up, they potentially can get attacked by the gun up here with a strength of 4. I could easily get one of those guys. Don't want to do that. So they'll activate the fire, firing at this unit here. It'll be 5 plus 8 is 13. Minus 13 puts them on the 11. Minus 1 for the dug in, so it puts them on the 7. Rolls a 10. That's good. It's a morale check. So they are an 8. And you roll a 7, so they are good. Yeah. British, no need to really do anything, I don't think. The only thing I'm thinking of is 12, firing at the tanks. It's not really going to do anything. Well, could get a random hit. Let's see. These guys will take a shot at the tanks in front of them, right here. So there'll be 4 plus 8. There's a machine gun under there. 4 plus 8 right there. 12 puts them on the 11. Snow modifiers, but they're going to need a 2 or 12 to do any damage. No, they do no damage. And fog of war. There's no fog. Now back over to the Italians. Really have nothing because they can't move. Those hexes here have not been occupied by German or Italian units. They're not friendly hexes, and they can't move this way because they're moving into range of units. So they're kind of stuck for the moment. He could potentially move. Let's see, he could move down to here. She's moving away. There's nothing that can really hit him with direct fire. And these are all friendly hexes. So 2, 4, 8, 12. Or do I leave them there? Yeah, I think I leave them there. So they're going to pass. No fog. And then the British will pass as well. So that will end turn 15:30 or 3:30 p.m. Let's pull off the counters here. And we'll go into the 13:45. I think I'll do 2 turns in this video. It goes pretty short once you get rolling. And you can see what happens. This turn was definitely the British turn. Killing that Capitano as part of the bombardment was a big win for the British. Italians were kind of mediocre here. Didn't really get a whole lot of movement. Did get the trucks moving. Tanks were not that great. So onward and upward. Next turn, 13:45. So initiative, 4 for the German Italian, 3 for the British. Okay, they roll 1, so it's going to be 5 and 4, so it's 1 action for German Italians. Oh, what to do, what to do. Those guns are so pesky. Need to knock them out. But now I got to worry about this infantry down here. As well as trying to recover units. Now the captain's in good shape now, so he can start getting it for the moment. Yeah, I got to go for the guns. They're the main enemy right at the moment. So the artillery back here, 14 plus 8, 22. Major will be spotting. So 22 puts them on the 21 column. Their guns, it's +1 to the 30 column. Oh, there's a hit. Oh, a big hit. Wow. It's X result. So that's going to destroy the gun. I'll put that over there. There's another point for the tie-in, or another point step loss for the British. So that's big, and the lieutenant colonel is hit as well. So he's got to do a morale check. +2. He survives that. Now, because that was an X, we've got to do a leader loss, remember. So that's going to be a 2. We'll get it with a -1 on the dice. Now, he's okay. So he's good, but they did get the gun. That's huge. That's actually very big for the Italians, because now that frees up the tanks to move up a little bit to get more position. We'll see how that plays out. British now have to make their move. They've got to figure out what they're going to do. So their plan was just to hold out here using the guns, kind of counterattack here as much as they could, and kind of go from there. I think the mortars, the captain, activate the mortars and this disrupted unit over here to recover. They are going to fire self-spotting against the captain stack. So again, that's 8 plus 8 is 16. Self-spotting puts them up to the 21 column. That's going to be a hit. M1. Again, an M1 on that same captain. Captain is a 7, +1 on the dice roll. He disrupts. So he's not going to be able to affect units. We also have in there 2 trucks. We'll do the unoccupied truck. Now, hold on here a second. The truck is actually going to take, let's see, it was 16 M1 self-spotting. There are loaded trucks. The loaded truck is going to have an M2. The unloaded truck is just an M1. So let's do the unloaded truck. They're a 7 with a +1. They're okay. Now the loaded truck, that has the Tenente and the heavy machine gun. They will do an M2. So they're 7 with M2. Now there is a Tenente in there who can help them. Now he doesn't have to take his morale check because he's part of the truck, but his morale bonus applies to the truck. So the truck is 7, goes up 1 for the bonus 8, +2 on the dice. 9. They are disrupted. Okay, so they are disrupted. So that means the truck is disrupted. It comes off there. And then the units, both the Tenente and the heavy machine gun, are disrupted. And they need to bail out of the trucks and into the hex. Okay, so that takes care of that. That takes care of them. Alright, so we'll do disrupted recovery. He's a 7, we'll need a 6 or less. And he recovers. Okay, he's back in good shape. Alright, so that's interesting. That kind of puts a crimp, still keeps a crimp on the Italians. Now, I think the Germans are going to make it interesting, I think. let's see, 12. Better, but tanks a lot. 22 minus 116. And then these guys move up. Yeah, I think that's going to be the trick. Alright, so these two are going to activate. He's going to fire, they're going to move. He's going straight ahead at them, so it's going to be 22. That's 11 plus 11. And then minus 1 puts him down to the 16. What would have dug in? Oh, that's a big hit. That's a X. So the British take an X on this. That'll be the infantry unit. Will take the X. It's another step loss for the British. And now everybody else takes morale check plus 2. Captain is a 10. Dice roll plus 2. He passes. The reduced unit is now a 7 with a plus 2. 10. So he is actually demoralized. And then the heavy machine gun is an 8 with a plus 2. 10, 11, 12. Wow, demoralized. So they have just taken out that unit. That dug in hacks. Captain's still there, but doesn't have much firepower. So that kind of plays into the attack, because now these two units are going to advance into here. At that point, that'll trigger, for what it's worth, it'll trigger the opportunity fired by the infantry. They'll be on a 4, but it's adjacent fire, so they'll shift up to the 11 for the fire. Now there's no opportunity bonus because it's tanks, so they'll just stay on the 11. So they'll need either a 2 or a 12 to trigger a morale check. No, nothing. Alright, so the tanks move up. And they fire. So this becomes really critical for the British. They now have a big problem. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can't hit them. But we've got to strip off some of this infantry a little bit more. Yeah, they're kind of stuck. So the remaining artillery unit, 25 pounders, plus this guy he'll fire, he'll move for recovery. Spotted by our good character leader here. So that's going to be 13, because they're 13 against that attack. So that winds up on the 12. Shift up because he's a character and has ability to 16. Rolls a 6, and that's a miss. Okay, that's a miss. Okay, demoralized leader, 7, reduced to 6, needs a 5. Doesn't quite get it. Alright, back to the Italian and Germans. Having a bit of luck here. Being able to move up. What to do? Those are both late attack units. Alright, I think we've got to go back to some bombardment here. The mortars activate, firing at this unit again, spotted by our guy here. So it's going to be 8 with no bonuses. And he rolls an 8, and that's going to be a miss. Alright, just wanted to try to pin them back, but didn't work. So, next turn, British turn with Fog of War. Boy, boy, oh boy. I think the Colonel activate to move. He's going to activate all units to move. So he's going to come over here, pick up the infantry. They're going to go. That's 1 for him, and then 2 for him, 1 for the infantry. Two for the infantry, 3 for him. And then, yeah, into this hex, 3. Now, question is he fire? 1, 2, 3. It'll be 13. Range is 3. Range is this. Where do they want to move in position? I think they better take the shot. He's pretty good. So he's 13 with no shift, with up 1, down 1. Shift up for range, shift down for range, shift up for movement. So it's on the 11 column. Rolls a 9. Morale check. Morale check. So the Colonel is a 9. He's okay. Bonus to the infantry with him, so they're 8 plus 2 is 10, and they needed that, so they make it to there, and he is opportunity fired. Okay. This half track here. I think he's going to jump back 2. And then he's in the hex. He's outside the hex. Here we go. And now, Fog of War. No fog. Italians. Continuing this advance is the tough part here. I think they have to. So I think, let's see, the captain could activate his hex. I think the Tenente here is going to activate everybody around. So let's just sort it out. Everybody's going to be moving. There's no shooting with this. So these 2 units need to recover. These trucks are going to move. He's staying there. So let's move these trucks out of here. Try to get them a little bit farther forward. So he'll go 2, 4, 6. Now he is within opportunity fire range, but it's just the truck. Just the truck. Here's 2, 4, 6. Yeah, they better take the shot, actually. Because if they get ahead, they'll load up and be ready to go. So they're going to take a shot. Machine gun only with the leader. So it's going to be 8. Moving up 1, range down 1. So it's going to be on the 7 column. And that misses. Their shot misses. Right there. So he's 2, 4, 6. He'll go 8 into there, and he'll be moved. And the second truck, 2, 4, 6 into here. Okay, can move forward. Man. If he moves one more, it'll be 8. Yeah, they'll let him go because there's going to be more stuff coming down the road. There. Okay. Next, let's take the recovering units. So, leader is there to help out. So the infantry is demoralized. He's a 7, gets helped up to 8, but demoralized 7 needs a 6 or better. Okay, leader helps. And the truck is a 7, help up to 8, he'll need a 7. And the truck is in good shape. So our character leader gets a couple of points because he helped rally units. So rallying, the truck doesn't count as a unit. Just 1 point for the disrupted or demoralized unit. Our guy is 15, right? Yep. Okay. So that's going to be. I'll just check here a minute. He's 13 over there. He's 15 over here. Okay. That's 10 in a day, Columbo. So he actually gets a point. That's good. He's negative at the moment with leadership points. Okay, that takes care of him. Now these trucks over here. We've got this gun. They're going to go 2, 4, 6. Oh, yeah, they're going to take the shot now. Their second shot because they're in a truck. So it's a loaded truck. So they'll get a +1 for that. +1 for moving, so it's +2. -1 for range. So they're going to be 7. We'll shift to the 11. Roll a 9. Or I'll check. Truck is 7. Rolls a 9. They're disrupted. So that means the truck and the unit are disrupted. Now this is a artillery piece, so it doesn't have to unload, but it will have to stop there. Alright, next one. We've got another truck. 2, 4, 6. And actually he'll stop right 6. Actually he'll move in there 6. Load up our heavy machine gun for 7. And stop right there. And then our demoralized motorcycle. Try to recover. He's a 7, demoralized 6, needs a 5. Doesn't get it. Doesn't get it. He's stuck back there. A couple more trucks back here. 2, 4, 6 to there. And then push on. I don't want to push on or not. Yeah. Push on for 8. Last one will go 2, 4, 6. And stop with disrupted infantry. Alright. That's it. Oh, there's the fog of war. So that ends turn 1345. Okay, so quite the set of turns that have happened. We have moved up our battalions despite having lost a key leader in the attack for the Italians. But the Italians scored a big hit, removing one of the 25-pounders that was menacing them, and allowed for the German tanks to now begin an assault on that lower left flank of the British. Alright, so now the question becomes what happens next? Will the British now be forced to counterattack to get down here, but with a tank blocking their way, tank unit blocking their way, and not much they can do about it, as well as Italian forces here that can intercept artillery. The British do have some stuff. They do have their mortars back here. They do have one more artillery unit back here. Key fight is going to be down here between the tanks and the dug-in infantry, while the Italians try to get off the board. So, on to turn 1400. That'll be the next video. Thanks for watching.